do. Let's see. I need. There we go. How's that sound, guys? So Lemonhead, it's actually glass. I am actually printing on glass. The surface is so much smoother that I can get a very smooth finish on the bottom, and it's been working great. So there's a lot of different substrates that you could use on top of the heat bed, but glass has thus far worked, and it cost me like a couple of dollars, so I can't really go wrong. And Lincoln, I did not give up on the coin box. I'm still working on the design on the coin box. So, let's see. What is? Give me 1 second here. I got like 4 things going at one time. I got that fixed. I got that fixed. I'm gonna run. I'll show you what I am trying to do. Let's see. I should be able to, because I can't give you guys, all my secrets. So I'm gonna switch over to. Let's do browser. Shoot, hold on. Sorry. I am not prepared. Display, and capture. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. So in this set, this is the overall design on the box. So, and so what I'm trying to do right now is trying to do a good breakdown. So this is the bottom, this is the top, and if we look underneath, you can see it's hollow. But what I did is I copied this design and then I cut it off, because what I want to do is I want to, whatever design that I'm going to do for the lid, I want to experiment on this section right here, so that I can just, once I have the lines or whatever it is, to create that overlap and that lock, that lid lock feature, I'm going to basically leave it as it is, and then take the lid and then drop it over the function piece, combine them together, and then I'll have a lid that will fit exactly on the box. That's how it's gonna work. So, but otherwise, this layout is exactly to spec. As far as the spacing in between all these, and all that. So this would be the basic design. This section here, I'll take you guys over there. So this is the bottom, this is the top. All I have to do is just drop this down. and that's basically how it's gonna sit. It's a little bit off on my designs here just because I was playing with it, but that's basically what it's gonna look like with the um, with the rounded edges all the way around to really give it a that's not what I wanted to do. Don't do that. So that to give a round edges, so it wouldn't have that sharp edge box. So it's a little bit nicer to handle than the sharp edges. So you should inlay a coin on top to show contents. Inlay a coin on top. What kind of coin though? Like I could put a in a small inset in the top, so that you could put a label in there, and then you could just label it for each one. I honestly I have no idea how many coins that this particular setup would hold. The way that I was looking at these, it looks like that you may be able to fit more than one flip, depending on what you had in there. You could fit maybe 2 or 3 of them. I'm not sure on the exact. I don't know. I was just going off of the design that that Ken sent me. I don't know how many that it's supposed to hold, if there is a certain amount, but see the best thing was with this is that once you get the basic design, so the biggest thing is that to get the basic bottom tray, and in order to get that, it's really easy. I just take this, put some radius on it, and then make a hollow space inside, and then what I did is I made smaller blocks with the right width, and then had larger blocks for the spaces, and I just color coded them. So, and then I just stacked them all up, put them inside the box, and then deleted out the spacer blocks, and that left me with equal spacing on these ribs. That's how I did it. So then I put the ribs and basically the outside frame all as one piece. I grouped them together, and then I put a basically a hollow space inside that, just like the same way that I created the empty space to cut out what the ribs are. Hey, Blues Coins. So this was a really interesting design. That I know I can get this lid thing working. I don't know, like I just get stuck on it, and usually what I'll do is I'll play with an idea, because my idea is that basically I'm gonna cut this in half, so that I'm just looking at just a straight edge, and then I'm gonna, well, here, I'll do it while you guys are sitting here. So here's my idea. My rough idea is that I have I have this box. This is gonna be very rough, but because I need to create a negative space on let's do this. I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna cut this. So I have solid pieces, which are colored, and then I have what's called negative pieces, or hold pieces, that are this crosshatch design. And then basically think of this piece as being a positive, and this as being a negative. And then when you put them together as a group, it will combine, and it will get rid of the edge like that. So now I'm looking at this straight edge. So now what I want to do is I want to, there we go. I want to have the top come down and have an overlap. And then that overlap will basically be mirrored, only it will be a negative on the bottom part. So when the top comes down, it overlaps and then locks in. That's the general idea. Because I don't want anything on the outside, just because it's that you can't stack these things together. If there's something on the outside, it will always catch. So let's experiment with what that is going to be. Up. Go up. Up, I say. I need you to go up. There we go. Oh, okay. So, need to make... man. See, it's one thing I like about this is in the prototyping, but it's also the hardest part, because it's not that I could just put a box in here and then it's gonna work out fine. Like that's not how it works. So the idea is that I have this part that goes up. And then this will be the lid, and I just need to create an indent right here between the two halves where this one sits in further. So this would have to be thinner. And then I would have to create like a round. I don't know, could we do a round? I don't know, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's play a game. Do you want to play a game? So I need to turn this 90, and then I need to turn this I really need this to be whole. So it doesn't have to be too big. About a top that opens from the middle. I don't know what you mean. So this needs to be, I was thinking like this. I was thinking like this, but it's got to be a lot smaller. I need to put it, split the center and have it open from center out. the center. Like the center of the box? Like 2 doors. Oh. Mm. Oh, I see what you're saying. So split the lid and have the lid. That would be something like split the lid down the center and have. I guess. I guess the only thing that I would that understanding the way that this is put together is that you could take off the lid and still have this space, and basically your coin flips would sit up so that you could look through them. If you had just the top open, you wouldn't be able to look at them from the side. The only problem with any kind of hinges or any kind of swinging doors or anything like that, that if this item was going to be injection molding, you would have to have a bottom, a top, and then the doors. So, but as far as this size item, I think it's going to be better with just the inlay that goes on the actual edge. I don't know how I lost it all the way over there. Okay, so for this one, I was thinking about something like one of these. I like the solid top too, especially because I don't like that. Especially because it's one of those things that you could take it and then you could move it and use it like on your desk or something as another piece. Man, that is just a hard piece to put in there. So something, let's see, I would need it. I would need the reverse. That's my problem. So let's make this a solid just for space, and let's go one more part in, and then flip this 180 degrees. Ooh, getting fresh. just like that. So if I combine these, what is it? What's it gonna give me? Well, okay, that doesn't work. Am I? Oh, I must be off. No, I'm not off. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this so that it's straight inside. But we're talking about, should be flush just like that. But it should go, oh, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I need to do, I need to do the outside and then this block, group them, and that gives me the whole part, and then I group these two. There we go. So something like that. What do you guys think? So obviously this is super rough, but it would be taking this design and putting it into this lid section here. That it would, with it being round like that, or semi-round, I guess that's half round. That would be very easy to inject mold, and it would be, it should generally be strong enough to basically, because this is going to be around on both sides. I would think. Ooh, excuse me. I would think. So that all you have to do is like push in the sides of the case and to open up the lid was, I guess, what I was thinking, as far as the design goes. So I would just need just this open space, the cutout to be on the inside of the bottom, and then so I would make the cutout on to basically take up this space on the outside, and then on the top I would have this design. So basically, if I can build this on both sides of this little ring, and then undo the block cutting it in half, I would have already made my lid. Let's see if we can make that. We're gonna give it a shot here. Okay, so I would need to do that does not go all the way down, so I need that to go all the way down. So I would need something like that. So then I'm going to ungroup that. And that doesn't go down all the way, but I need it to go down all the way. So let's try this and this group. That gives me my cutout. And then this and this group. Cut this in. I don't want that much though. Just give me 0.005. Yeah, so I'm like, well, yeah. Let's try that. So if I had this on both sides, I don't like that corner. That corner's bothering me. If I had this on both sides, and I would basically just use this ring, use that as a negative, and set it slightly bigger than this space, and then drop it over the top, and that's gonna cut out. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm gonna duplicate this. I know I'm jumping back and forth between the pieces, but this will make it easier because then I can just lay it down on top and see if it's gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna need a block. I'm going to need a block there. I'm gonna need something that is about yay tall. About yay tall. This wide. All over the top. And I'm going to put these two together. And then I'm going to change this to a negative. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that just special? And then I'm going to take this over to my box. Oops, don't do that. I need the size. So that's going to be the exact size of the box. Get this lid out of my way. Get out of my way, lid. Get out of my way. So I'm going to pull this up because I want it to sit down over the top but be slightly bigger. So we'll get it all the way lined up. All the way lined up first. Just like that. Almost. It's a lot harder than it seems. Okay, right there. Alright, close enough. So sit boo boo sit. So I need to make this basically just a slight bit bigger so that it sits on the outside. And then I need to drop it straight down. Try doing this with MS Paint. Yeah, I can. I agree, man. I've been there. I'm just looking to see that it's mainly even on both sides. And then we're just going to add these two pieces together and see what it looks like. And that should give me a pretty solid box. So the only thing that I will have to do now is, so that is the right direction that I want it to do, but I will need this to be taller so that there's more of an overlay. So something like that. And then put these together. Because then when this lid comes down, it can sit down, and that that knob piece will go on these two sides. So whatever design that I make this, that will be my lid, and then I would just copy this round piece into the sides right here of where it goes, and then make it a negative, and then group it together, and that will create my lid piece. Actually, if I just make the lid in this piece, I could copy it and just make it a negative. I spent a couple years in high school doing architectural drafting in CAD, and before I actually took classes in school, I played with AutoCAD R14 just for fun. There was stuff that I've designed, that I would just design just for kicks and giggles. Just because, like, one of the biggest things for me is I love designing. Like, that's my thing. I love doing, something, creating something out of nothing. So I need to, I'm gonna have to break this up. I'm gonna have to break this up because I'm gonna need this to go away. Because I'm gonna need this to go all the way down. See, there's this little gap in here, and I can see it. I can see it from a mile away, and it bothers me so very much. So this is 0.78. So that's to the inside. Duplicate. So what Ken is saying in the chat is basically this box would be a low cost alternative to a step up from the cardboard the cardboard flips, but the cardboard boxes that some of us still use for flips, without having to go to something like without getting slabs, because right now there's not really a medium in between your cardboard boxes with cardboard or plastic flips up to a like a PCGS box where you can put in slabs. There's not really anything in between. So that's what we're trying to accomplish, basically, is to have something in between. Right now, this is obviously just the prototype phase. That if we can come up with a working prototype that can be funded as a like a Kickstarter project, to mass produce these um, with an injection molded process, or injection molding process, that would make this much easier to mass produce, because 3D printing is great, but to mass produce these things would take a lot of time. I knew you ran away on me. Okay, so that's all the way at the end. There's a little tiny gap, and I can see it right there, and it bothers me so much. This is overshooting it, and I need it to be not overshot. Okay, there's that piece. See here, I can see that tiny little gap. And I don't want the gap. Gap must not be there. And I will get rid of all of the gaps. All of the gaps. Come on. Turn this back on. So now that I've got this on both sides, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do edge, edge, edge. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. Group. Edge, 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 group. And that will create my spaces. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get it so that, well, one, it's on the right side because this is ridiculous. But so that it's long enough. Because it needs to go all the way down to this edge right here. Just like that. Oh. 0.005. So now I need to take it to the other side. Tell you, these tiny pieces are really hard to work with. That's okay. Got all the time in the world. So I do need to flip this though 180 degrees. So that it is facing the correct way. So that's the basic concept. Drag this out here. And put this down on top. And just see what this looks like. Basically what I can do with this is copy this as the lid if this is going to be the right size and everything. Actually, let's try it. Let's try this. So I'm going to undo this one and I'm going to dump this lid, and then I'm going to duplicate this and kick this over. Not right in front of my face. Get out of here. Get. And then this will be my negative. Let's put it down first. This will be my negative. No, down. Sit down, boy. Down. So that would, okay, so that is fitting flush all the way to the outside. So I would actually need this. The size down is going to be correct. Now the size out would not be correct because I would need this to be just a hair wider. Something like that. Okay, so I'm going to do, this is going to be a negative. I need this to be a negative. I'm going to group these two. And that's going to cut my piece out. It's going to cut my lid out right there. You'd see it right there. So that piece is cut out. I don't know why it left. I left this little piece right here. I don't know what's going on with this. Ken. So, question for you, since I know you're in the chat. Does it matter if it has this edge all the way around? Or can the lid basically take the place of that? Because I could have it leave like a little bit of edge like this, or I could have it basically eliminate it out these back sections, so that this edge is the only part that stays up. Does that make sense? Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna set it so that it gets rid of these two edges. Okay, so this would be oops, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know why this base is like it's thicker right here. Let's try this. So something like that, where it's open on both ends, and then there is the rib down here. But then my rib on that side didn't show up. some reason, this piece is not even connected. See how it's floating right there? That is not going to work. Figured a tongue tab rib on the upper and a groove. Solid. I need this in blue. So I take this, I drop this one straight down. Then make it a negative. And then group these together. And that should give me my slot on both sides. So there's my slot on that side, and there's... Where's my slot? I don't know where my slot is. No, it's there. It's barely there. Alright. So that would be the basic concept, and then I take the same idea, and now since I have made this one, get out of my way, that I'm going to undo all of this. Ungroup, get rid of this, group all of this together, so that hopefully the idea would be is that this lid then just slides into this, hopefully. Ken, this is actually called Tinkercad. It is a free website. You just have to sign up by email or whatever, and then you can log into it, and it's basically like a free online CAD that you can go and play with. Tinkercad, yep. So obviously I can already tell that this design didn't work correctly, because I can see all kinds of gaps and errors in it, but that's okay because we learn to use those to tell us what we need to do. So what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to drop this down so that it's flush. Okay, there it's flush. So now it's flush all the way around. Now, to see what I'm looking at, I guess I can... No, I'm gonna keep that. So to see if this is actually going to work, I'm just gonna grab a box, just like this, and I'm gonna put it somewhere in here. And I'm gonna make it bigger than what this is, and then since all this stuff is a positive and this one is a negative, I'm gonna group these together, and then this will show me, basically this is creating a cutaway, and this is gonna show me on if this is gonna work or not. But I need this top piece to stay blue, because I need to see the difference between. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do. Might have to do this in 2 pieces. So let's do this. We're gonna group that, and we're gonna cut away the bottom. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Same thing to the top. So then I'm going to do top piece and this. So here is the cutaway. So, and here's where my OCD kicks in, and then I start losing my mind, because one, there shouldn't be a gap right here. That bothers me. So that means that whatever my thing is, I need to drop it down further. But the second thing is that it doesn't have any of this piece right here, which is not right. There has to be that little bit of cutout, so that when this top part comes down and it fits over that, then it will basically click in right here, right in this space. So, but the thing is that I can now take this design and I can make this piece just a little bit shorter, which should allow me to drop it down even further. Oh my gosh, and I just jacked it all up. Where's my down? So it should look something like that, but I can see that this is an overlap right here. So I know that there's something that is not right. See, there's my thing there, and I know it's not right. Look how messy that is. Oh. But so other than that, this is the basic design. There is a little bit of finessing that I'm gonna have to do, but I don't know. What do you guys think? So with the tolerances on this, I would hope that it's close enough that they would be snug fitting together, and this would be deep enough so that um, um, deep enough to hold on to it, because this edge might have to come down further, which is fine, and that's easy to do. Um, but then and then what I would imagine is that you can basically just kind of squeeze the sides on the bottom to or just wiggle the top to get it to come off, and that it's going to be a tight enough tolerance so that it will just the friction will hold on, will make it stay. Ooh. Okay, that's done. That's done. That's done. Okay. If the tabs don't work, we can always use Velcro. So here's Adrian. I know you're just coming into it. So this is basically the cutaway view of a of this coin box. Think of it as the cardboard flip holders, only in more of a solid PCGS slab holder fashion. So what I was trying to do tonight is I was trying to create the lid portion, because I want the lid portion to come down and slip over the bottom part. But this right here is just a cutaway view, because I know that if I can put the two pieces together, then I can cut it away and see what it looks like on the inside, without having it being hollow, so that I could see what I need to improve on. So I can already tell that I've got some tolerance issues right here. Like this one sits lower right here, so I know that this tab isn't is either too long, or like, yeah, it's just my OCD and whatnot. Because for it to fit flush, well, and this may not necessarily be a bad thing if there's a tiny space right here for the outside to fit flush. I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing. What's up, Mudswat? So the outside would be flush. Wonder if I can get any more. Yeah, I would need to really drive this design in, to really capture captive that edge. I got it. This is what I'm gonna do. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do. Whoa! Don't do. No, don't do that. Go back. Okay. No, don't do that either. I need you to go up. And then this needs to come apart. And come apart. Then this needs to go away. So then these need to go back. And then I'm going to take I'm gonna take this piece, I'm gonna duplicate it, I'm gonna push it over here, and then I need this magic box of goodness to go high, and then go across. If you guys notice, I absolutely talk to myself a solid lot. Sometimes that's just the only way that I can get my brain to really function on what I'm trying to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I figure that if I can get this so that is just on the, I don't know why. Let me get rid of the snap grid for a second. There. So if I get this top edge, what was I trying to do? Oh, yeah, okay. If I get this top edge, so that it would be flush across the top, and basically I'm going to create that ring, and I already know what size that it needs to be. And then this is going to go bigger, and basically I'm going to make that ring again that I had before. And same thing, I'm going to put it down on top. Like there's just a little sliver left, but I'm going to put the ring down on top. That can get out of my way. Lincoln, this box is for 2x2s. Just go down. Go down, go down, go down. Okay, so this is... Why is this off? I need this not to be off. Okay, there we go. Alright, watch this. Watch this magic. So I'm going to take this item, and I'm going to drop it down until that little flush piece, just like that. Then I'm going to make it a hole. Then I'm going to put this back together. Doop. Yeah, don't worry about that little edge piece. But then, whoa, what are you doing? Where did you go? Come back. Then when this comes down, since this is an exact copy of the item that I just used, whoa, what did my thing turn? Okay, this needs to go down. Oh, there it is. So minus this little piece, which would just whatever. This edge is a perfect alignment to the top. So yeah, so now I know that I guess I could edit that. Yeah, it's gonna bother me. But that would be an exact fit. And so let's see if I can take this apart. I don't know if I can make it taller. Yeah. Let's see if that works. Did they get rid of it completely? Look at that! Look at that! Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that! And then this comes straight down. And what we have here is a beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. Look at that. Look at it. Just that one little piece. But otherwise, that would be exactly, pretty much would be a tolerable fit. Yeah. Yeah, that would be it. That would be the lid that fits directly on top. Interior ribs can be reduced in height to 3/4 of an inch. Okay. I had the ribs lined up with the top just because that was gonna be easier. But then the other question would be, so the ribs, I had them coming up off the floor just so, I don't know, like they couldn't slide around. I don't know why I was thinking, um, that they could slide or they could be pushed, and especially the plastic ones, if you push on them, then they will fold and basically come out of these slots. So I put these in to help prevent against that. Adriana, this is actually free software. Free online. It's through a website called Tinkercad, and you can basically just go on here, and it's and it's free. You have to create an account, but you can log into it. And I've done a lot of stuff on here. That that helps me with some of my 3D designs. That then because then I could take each of these pieces, export them, and then put them directly to my 3D printer, which is awesome. Smooth floor is what I had on the original plan for cardboard flips. Okay, well I can fix that. I can fix it. So I can pull out these ribs on the bottom really easy. So, and then these are should have a ruler in here somewhere. I've never used this before. Oh, that didn't help me at all. I believe this is 1.8. No, not 1.8. What size is that? Top needs to be wide open with the tolerances evolved. A flip a little out of place would make the lid. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. MudSwat. I have it's called an ANET A8. So the build plate is 220 by 220 centimeters by 240 centimeters. It was basically one of the cheapest ones that I could find, and I've actually had some pretty good luck with it. With everything that I've done with it. Sure. Yes. Yes. I wanted to get this piece to fit in directly on top. That's kind of what I was going for. There will be some other things, and this is just a cutaway view, but this is what I wanted to make sure that it was gonna work. Then I can take away the negative boxes here, and then have a top half and a bottom half that are just straight up. Lincoln. With this setup, um, yes, you could expand this in any direction. But the idea is to get the actual layout of it so that if you scaled it, then it would be guaranteed to work because you've already proven it um, on the small scale. Thanks, Lincoln. So let's just do. Can we have tacos now? So this is a half shell on just the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna export this piece, and I'm gonna see um, what it would take to print this one. Do, 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 do. So this comes out at an hour and 11 minutes for this half. So what's cool about this is that if and this is about 2/3 of the full of the full size. So even on a full size layout, it would only take maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 hours to print. And when we're talking prototype, that's fine. I can invest that time with no problem at all. So that I can have a working, a hands-on prototype. Get those ribs. How do we cut those ribs down? Cut those ribs down. Well, this would be a prototype. So if I got everything to work, now the other thing I can do is I can cut. I can basically just cut just a small section of the middle, and then print out both pieces, and that would only take maybe 20 or 30 minutes. and then fit those two pieces together to see if I need to change any of the tolerances, or anything in the design, and then I know that um, that it would work out better. Whenever I'm doing um, like prototype prints or anything like that, I always do small sections. So like for the state ones, I did just basically the way that I wanted it to do, and then I just cut out a square, um, and printed that square with the hole size and everything that I wanted to go for, to see that everything worked, because this small square size is, like an inch by, inch and a quarter or whatever, and it takes, minutes to print. But I know that once I get the tolerance on that circle, of where the coin is going to sit into the states, or into the coin holders, once I get that hole done, that I have that dimension inside Tinkercad or whatever I'm working, and then I can just basically duplicate that hole size into whatever I'm doing, because I've already proven that it'll work. So let's see if we can cut these down. Good night, Adriana. So if I do something like this, just needed to do then I'm going to take these over to the edge on both sides. And this will get rid of the ribs on the floor. Perfect. Got a little bit of overlap right there. Take me to a step back. Now let's try this. Let's try this and see if this works. Oh, for the love of Pete, what is going on with this? No, no, don't get rid of the grid, get rid of this. And we'll see if this works. That close enough. Close enough. Okay, so then the ribs, they only need to be 3/4 of an inch. Is that my problem? This thing been off the ground the whole time? That's dumb. Good night, Mud. Thanks for coming in. So, okay, so Ken, you were saying 3/4 of an inch. So I don't know what size that is. So let's just build a box right here. We're gonna do. That's 5. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch right here. Change this to blue so I can see it. Wow. Okay. So I guess with that, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna go up. That's gonna snap on top. I'm gonna drag this down to right there. And this needs to go all the way to the wall. So this box right here is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm only knocking off maybe like 1/8 of it. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. So I need to drag this all the way to the edge. I hate how that sometimes this does not want to zoom the way that I want it to. Now, obviously, if I had, there's other software that you can get that is much more robust than this. But for this stuff being free, like I'm not gonna balk at that at all because this is amazing software. Okay. All right. So what do you think of that, Ken? Free stuff is cool. I agree. Feet and receptacles in the top. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, there was one thing that I was thinking about that to do like just an inset into here, so that it wouldn't take that much more to print. But okay, so let's do. Let's do this. Give me I don't know, a section. Come on. Work with me here. Work with me here. So it needs to come down. Like that. And then I'm gonna do let's do I don't know, something like that. Just so I get the good cross section. What I'm looking for. More of a sturdy frame. And then let's see what that looks like. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so break that apart. And I need to do bottom and this to group. And that creates my bottom section. And I'm going to export the bottom section as an STL. And close that. And then I'm going to flipbox. Do this one, and that's gonna give me. Hey. So this little section that that I have 26 minutes. So let's print that, shall we? Let's print that. Let's print that. Oh, print that. Sorry, I won't do that again. So I wonder if that's my window capture, display capture. Right there we go. Bloop. Okay, so this is. So this is Cura, which is one of the slicers that I use. So basically, you take yeah, I didn't want to print out too small of a section because it would give the walls a lot of flex, and I wanted something a little bit more rigid. But yeah. There is not really a cooldown time. I can pull it directly off of the build plate within a few seconds after it's done. Blues. There isn't a necessarily a black and white answer to that. Because you can go with a with a really cheap 3D printer and really basic filament to print with, but you know there is a huge range between just the low line, and then you have the high end lines that are big giant boxes, and they're like 4 foot by 4 foot boxes, and their build plates are like 2 and 3 feet big, and they use very high-end filament. For what I'm using here, I'm using just some basic filament. This is a good, um, uh, uh, what I would say entry level 3D printer, and no, it's worked great for me so far, and I've had this for about 2 years. I'm gonna step away and grab some water right quick. I will be right back. All right. All right, I'm back. All right. Printer is firing up. Do you guys want to watch it being printed? So sometimes when I run new prints, I may have some issues with the first layer sticking down, and sometimes I just have to adjust it a little bit. So um, and we'll see. It looks all right. Um, the uh, um, the build plate automatically heats up as part of the print process. So when when I'm designing like the 3D coin holders and stuff like that, this is the process basically that I go through, is working on the design, print a prototype, and then testing it to see if it works, see if there's anything else that I need to do to change it. There could be something that I run a different layer thickness. It could be I use a different filament. It could be different settings that I can use to make these prints come up better. So the settings that I have right now that I'm using are just really basic settings. I'm printing for basically speed. The layer height on this is a 0.2, which is a kind of like a generic like fast print level. If I wanted to do something that with a lot of really fine detail, then I go to a smaller layer, like a 0.1, 0.15. The other thing that I can do is I can actually change out the nozzle sizes. So the nozzle size that I have in this machine right now is a 0.4. As a 0.4 millimeter. I have other nozzles that I can change out. That I can go all the way down to a 0.1. So if there was something that I wanted to do that had a very, very, small, sharp detail, then I would step down to like the 0.2 or 0.3. The only problem that I have currently is that if I do change out the nozzles, then I have to reset all of the height settings on the gantry for this. I have to change the end stop so that so that it relevels the bed correctly. There are sensors that I can get that will auto detect the height of uh, of the plate, but I haven't had a need for that, so we'll see. Cat hair or dust? In what sense, Lincoln? Like in the fans or in the extruder? In the air? Not really. I don't. Yeah, not really, because basically what this does is take a plastic material, and it's melting it down, and depositing little bits at a time. So anything, um, yeah, uh, anything would just be melted along with it. So yeah, this design is Ken's design. I just am um, the prototyper. That's what I am. Back of the envelope math says it's not cost effective to patent. I like that can back of envelope math. I like that a lot. So the best part about getting my 3D printer up and running, which I was really hoping that I was going to be able to do, is that I can finish my sets for the state quarter holders that I designed. So I'll be able to finish those sets. I have 2001, 2004, and 2008 available, and I could print out the other ones. I also have the states, the actual state outlines, the state pieces for a big jigsaw puzzle. I also have that. I have all of the states laid out. They were kind of a pain to put together, but I did it because why not? So I'm gonna minimize this. That's printing. That's printing. Once you get a prototype done, box it up and ship it to yourself and leave sealed. Poor man's patent. I like that. So what I was trying to do before I started streaming is trying to get some music for the background. That's what I was trying to do. I haven't got it working yet though. Trying though. Because I'd like to have something, even like the like Mantix bot thing would be something cool to have for live streams. The very few live streams that I actually do, because I do videos. The best thing about this 3D printer is there are so many different things that you can do with it. Like this is just a basic design on the 3D printer. I could change the layout. I could put a bigger build plate in it. I can change the motors. I can do I can do all kinds of different things to it, and that's what's cool, is that I can modify modify everything about it. One of the next things that I'd like to do is there is a guard right in here on the extruder piece that is basically a 3D printed piece with magnets, so I can just stick magnets to it and pull it off and access the extruder, um the stuff. Like if one of the, no, I can't talk today. If the filament gets jammed or anything like that, I could just pull it off, and access that section of it without having to tear it all the way apart. The 3D printer, this one that I got, it comes in a box and you have to build it yourself. Now, when I first got the box and I started putting it together, now everything was labeled and there was directions and everything. But really, after that point, it um, um, was just a learning curve, because after that there was really nothing that said, okay, to print you go here and do this. Like, I had to learn about the slicer programs. I had to learn about G code. I have to learn about um, the different things that I can do to run the 3D printer off of either an SD card or by USB, which I'm printing in off a USB, which I thought was broken. That didn't work, but I got it to come back up. So I am so glad that started working for me again. So Ken says it's a simple box made to hold your coins securely. The full size unit will have a capacity of 140 to 200 coins. It should be available through Kickstarter at about $30 a unit, including shipping. That compared to two Whitman boxes, which there's really nothing on the inside. With shipping, it will run you about the same and have half the capacity. So it's definitely definitely an option. Uh, yeah, Lincoln. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to fix it either. I was really stressing it out because my biggest thing was that if I had all of the components working, but then the main board um, didn't work or was burned out, then that was gonna be an issue, and that's the part that I was worried about, because to buy a new main board is gonna be more expensive than I wanted it to be. Yeah, I was pretty upset, but I was the overall design of this printer, um, the way that it burned out, is really just a design flaw, and I failed to address that flaw. Um, Now, I'm glad that the worst thing that it did was burn out the connector, versus anything else. But still, I would have liked to have not had that issue. Clearly. Kickstarter project will raise the funds for the molds and initial production run and fees and shipping. Ken will need to pre-sell 500 to 750 units to get it off the ground. Better figures are needed, and for that we need a prototype. So one thing that I can tell already is this bottom, or I guess this front left corner, it's pulling off of the board. So obviously that's not going to affect like anything in the design, but it just bothers me because I know what that does. All right, Lincoln. Thanks for coming on tonight. Only 499 to 749 to go. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Let's see. Okay, I need to put together a preliminary project timeline. This could be a real product in 4 to 6 months. That's cool. Sold at fine stores near you. What kind of fine stores? Coin stores? Hobby stores? Have I made Legos yet? No, I have not made Legos yet. See, Joseph. No, there's some things that that I have done before. Um, that like I made this statue guy. I made some cat armor. I do have 3D printed cat armor. In case you guys wanted some cat armor. They have 9 lives. They can take a hit. I was honestly surprised that I could even find cat armor. Helmets for cats of questionable balance. Not a big cat person, but got barn cats here. Take the mice. Yeah. I had a cat when I was young, but and he was the best cat ever, but I was super allergic to everything. Ooh, this is pretty. Yeah, um this stuff is cool when it really starts going. And I think that something like this is here I have this spool of plastic wire, we'll call it. And I am running it through a heated point and making whatever I want. would not be surprised if you get an email asking for a prototype to be made. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, and that's what all of this is all about is to get a prototype built for a solid project. And ideally, this process would be able to make a full size prototype. And really, one of the biggest things that I worry about is, um, just the design aspect. Is that I took something and designed it, and somebody um, uh, can reverse engineer it. That would be what I would be worried about. Looking for something. How do I? Man, I really need to get with Mantic on this. Yeah, won't be shipping any to China. Yeah, that's 100% true. Because we don't need that. Comments. Moving commands. Macros. Hotkeys. Change log. It's not what I need. Connections. There we go. Make sure you print up your own coin. I made one somewhere. I don't know where it went. I lost it. I'll probably print another one. But I thought about they have these things. They're called maker coins. And it's basically like just like a coin, only it is your own logo. Kind of like the thing that I made for Mantic. Um, Only it has your own logo on it, and it's something that it's basically like a 3D printer's or like a designer's business card, basically, only in the way of coin. You were watching the 3D printer on a 62-inch TV. That's awesome. So let's take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, we're about 90% done right now. So I can tell on the this section that it's on right now is that the top lips, and it's struggling. It's taking more time on these top lips because there's just enough gap. Because I'm not running 100% infill, I'm running a 20% infill. So that it would probably be faster if I ran 100% infill. Um, on some of this, it would probably make it go faster. Oh, and it's done. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's not a bad part at all. It's pretty strong. Yeah, those ribs are really strong. So yeah, that part in itself not is not that bad. So, but you guys can see all these layers. This is a point two. This would be a lot smoother on this edge if it was like a point one or a point 1.15 or something like that. So let me switch back up to this one. So that should show up as being this piece. So now we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to go back to our piece here. Oops. And then undo this. And then do the top. And do the same thing. So now this one, this piece may be able to be printed on its side. Which will actually be faster. Yeah, this one definitely need to be printed on its side. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll this bad boy over. Roll, baby, roll. Doop. Just like that. So, just by rolling it over, I take it from 22 minutes down to 15 minutes. I do have a coin flip handy, but the problem is that there's something in my sizing, probably a scale issue that is off. So my flips do not fit in here. So, but I can work on that. Obviously, I need to scale it correctly. How far am I off? I'm off by a little bit. I'm just gonna print the top, because I want to see if this is even gonna work. Because if I do the top and it doesn't work, then I know that I need to do a better design anyway. Oh, print. Yeah, there we go. So it's gonna connect. Let's see. So how far exactly am I off? I gotta get a better flip. Looks like I'm off by not very much. Not very much at all. I'm gonna let that warm up. So I've got some digital calipers that I use for these designs. .79. And I needed it to be 1.9. .9697. So I'm about 2/10 off. So while that's printing, starting to, I'm gonna go back to here and see. Basically, I would have to take this entire design. I'm gonna see if I can measure this. Okay, so it's 2 on the outside. So what's my internal? It's not gonna work. Do. So we'll see how that goes. Guess my walls ended up being a lot thicker than. No, my walls were fine. My outside dimension is off. Because my outside dimension should be 2. I don't think I'm at that. No. I'm at the right dimensions externally. But internally I am off by about 2/10 of an inch. Oh. 1 second. So as you guys can tell, this is part of the kind of the frustration is, so you have a perfectly designed part, and then you print it out, and then it all goes sideways. Well, that's it's been resized since the bottom was printed. So the external dimensions on the bottom is 2 inches. The internal dimensions are, because I've got 1/10 of an inch and 1/10 of an inch. So would I need 2 inches interior size? Because if I needed 2 inches interior size, that would fix my issue. Or somewhere in the ballpark of interior walls should be 2 inches apart. That's what I thought. Okay. I guess for whatever reason when I built this, I was thinking 2 inches exterior. So that is my fault. what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to replicate the interior dimension on my that's way too big. So no, that's about right. 1.25. I guess the other thing that I could do is to cut down on time is that I could print just the lid, because I know that the inside of the lid, the interior dimensions, is going to be exactly the interior dimensions on the base. So if I just print a just a small cut of that, then I can ensure that the overall dimensions are accurate. So we'll see how this lid part holds up, to see if it's going to be basically compatible with the top piece. There's some of this, because of the tight tolerances on the overall design, that the lid may be printed, may have to be printed a little bit wider. Just a hair wider. Because that's what I've had to do with my my coin holders, my coin tubes that I've printed out. I've had to adjust the size a little bit on the lid so that it fits down square. How many flips will it hold? It depends on the size. The one that we are prototyping right now is a small version, but I think Ken said 200. So what it's doing right now is that it's printing the outside walls, and then printing a diamond pattern, a honeycomb pattern, inside the walls for structure. $36 per row times 5 rows, 180 capacity. So this box would do about 36, right? 4-inch box would be 20. Okay. A 4-inch box would be a handy thing by itself. Yeah, I agree. Looking at a full-size box being the size of a ream of paper, 8 by 10 by 2. I'm gonna grab some more water. I'll be right back. Big box, 180 coins, which is a pretty decent set of coins. You would need 2 plus for a complete set of Lincolns. But what if I like my cardboard boxes? They're pretty. I don't even have to answer that one, Ken. Clearly. Tape the cardboard to the outside of the ABS. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cancel the print and then pull it off the board. Let me get my my camera up here. Hold on one second. Okay, so this is the idea. This is the lid with the same size of the base. So this is how it would go together. So it's not super tight, but it's definitely, like, it definitely kind of snaps on the way that it's printed together. So yeah, for all intensive purposes of it being a 3D printed prototype, I would say that that we have a winner. So it's a little weak as far as pressure from the top, and it makes it want to pop out on the sides. But pressure on both sides is pretty sturdy. But you can see the way that these were printed, just in the print process. Do. Come on. Focus. You can do it. Do it. Do it now. Just in the print process, like it has this little tiny dab that sticks out right there. Does it need extra height and fill the interior corners of the top for extra strength? It could be that maybe the thickness just needs to be thicker up here. Um, or yeah, I don't know. That's something that I can play with, because obviously we're looking for something with strength, and this is just being a cross section. So we are obviously playing with a small fraction of what the entire project would be. Here's my plug for Mantic. So the interior dimensions are off because I was working with a 2-inch exterior dimension, not a 2-inch interior dimension. So if I have a 2-inch interior dimension, then obviously my overall dimensions are off, because obviously I was working with a 2-inch by 2-inch. To have extra height here, so this cutoff right here would need to go up. I would basically just grab this entire thing and make it bigger in both height and width, to be able to fit one of these, and that's just because I designed it as being a 2-inch by 2-inch exterior. Yeah, one thing that I thought about stacking would be is kind of like the same concept as this interior cutout right here, as being a circle or a square, or even like in the corners to have that inset in the lid. Yeah, inset in the lid, stubs on the bottom that stack out so that they can stack up, and those four spots around would lock in. Now the other thing that I could do is have the most of the lid being inset like this, and then just have this raised edge that goes around the entire, and do the opposite for the base, so that it is that the entire base of it basically nests into the top. But I think I'd like the feet better. looking at the edges, because I can see that it sticks out some, and a lot of that is just the way that it was printed. Whenever it hits a corner like this, I don't know if that's gonna focus. Shake it like Ken shakes it. Shake it, work better, or else. When it goes around this corner, it stays there for just a fraction of a moment longer than the basic print runs, like on the side. So you get a little bit of blob there, but yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, see that right there? It sticks out. But something like that, as far as a prototype, like if I had that, I would just take some sandpaper, some like 600 grit sandpaper, and sand that down, and this edge would be 100% smooth right there. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna tinker with this design a little bit more. Thanks for everybody coming in. I appreciate it a lot. I really like these designs, and we'll keep designing, and we'll keep doing it. I will see you guys all later. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, you can send me an email at the email that you see on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.